Breaking news with Based and Bougie. So, guys, this video is going viral. It's basically a former migrant hotel employee, and he just exposed everything about these migrant hotels. Let's get into it, guys. So there's this guy called Luke who was a former migrant hotel employee, and he basically exposes everything that us on the far right, okay, we're not far right, we're just right, have been saying for the longest about these migrant hotels. And you know what's so funny, guys? 9 times out of 10, Sky News, BBC, ITV, they are not going to broadcast this because they know that this guy has been exposing everything that a lot of people have been saying for the last 10 years. But let's get right into it.
My name's Luke. I'm an ex-employee of the Brook Hotel and the Norwich Hotel, which is owned by the same people. Both are, well, they were Best Western contracts. They're now both housing immigrants. And basically the reason I'm doing this today is because people of this country, they need to make a stand. It's gone too far, and the further it goes, the worse it's going to get. So these hotels, they pay £2 million each year to house the immigrants. There is a
Whilst veterans are sleeping on the streets, begging for food, clothes, money, our government is giving £2 million to men who just got here. They don't know English, they don't love British values, they don't love Christianity, they don't love conservatism. They haven't been vetted, they don't have no work experience, they've contributed niche to the country, and yet our government is giving them 2 million. Whilst our veterans are sleeping in the streets, and whilst our elderly is sleeping cold in the winter. Let's continue, guys.
170 housed in the Brook Hotel, all males from all different.
Oh, and they're also all males too. That's another thing a lot of people have been pointing out for the last 10 decades. How is it that you're seeking refuge, but you're leaving your wife and your child? Oh, that's crazy. I don't know about you guys, but if I was escaping war, the first thing I'm taking is my child. If I was a man, the first thing I'm taking is my child. But the fact that these people keep neglecting their child and their children to come to this country just goes to show they are not coming here for refuge. They're coming here for economic benefits. I even saw an article where an Afghan migrant, he came into the country first, and then he was able to get 22 of his cousin and family members into the country. This is how reckless the country has become with migration. 22 family members. What was we saying? We were saying that they predominantly keep importing fighting aged men, and he just exposed this. So thank you for proving us right.
Places. The Norwich Hotel houses males, females and kids, but again it's more of a male majority. They're paid £2 million each year for that. Now when they first arrive, they get a choice of Samsungs or iPhones. Now
Oh my gosh. I I had to work for my first phone. I really had to work for it. You know, I had to get my first job. I remember my first job was as a prefect in secondary school. And then they just get a phone. They just get, oh gosh.
most people know, neither of them phones are cheap. Now obviously they're all paid for by the taxpayers of this country. They get £70 cash every week into their pocket, as well as all their meals, washing, rooms cleaned for them by the staff each day.
Let me remind you guys that our veterans are sleeping on the streets, and our elderly who have actually helped build this country are sleeping cold at night, whilst people who just arrived here are receiving £70 a week. Let that sink in.
There was events where a knife was found in a room under a pillow during cleaning time from housekeeping team. Now the knife that was found was from our own kitchen at the Norwich Hotel. So there was two ways that they could have got it. That was either through security, because they're very friendly with them, or one of them has broken into the kitchen during the night and they have taken it.
I don't know what else to say except it's not far right. We're just right.
They get NHS visits, dentists twice a week. Now, as everyone knows, you can't get a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment. It's just impossible.
So whilst we're struggling to get GP appointments, they're just getting it for free. Ugh. If you are a citizen of this country and you are a taxpayer, this should anger you. This should really anger you that you are working your ass off only for your money to be going to people who just arrived here, grown men, 16 to 24, to just have everything paid for.
Drugs were found in rooms where there could be kids in. They found cocaine, enough to say there was enough there to believe they were dealing. Violence towards staffs. There was events where if they didn't like the food that was on offer, because again they got a choice of food, so they'd have 3 options each night, each lunchtime, each morning.
They're having 5-star meals. They're literally having 3-course 5-star meals, while the rest of us are struggling to pay our groceries with our £3 increase in salary since 2021. Guys, by the way, all our salaries have gone up by £3 since 2021. But anyways,
there was a young lad, he didn't like what was on offer, so he assaulted a member of security just because he didn't like the food he was offered.
okay, so do you guys hear that? Knives, drugs, assaulting security guards. When we sit here and say that these cultures are alien to us, you guys are calling us far right. This is alien behavior. Okay, one thing that this country is, known for is our manners, our pleases, our thank yous, our patience, our waiting in lines, our gratitude. That's something that's embedded into British culture. But yet you have these people throwing a tantrum because they didn't get a meal. You've been in the country and you've been afforded every privilege, and yet you use that privilege to keep drugs under your pillow and keep knives under your pillows. And this is where your tax money is going, guys.
Comments made towards female staffs regarding clothing that they're wearing, to the point where it was then a uniform was put in place. It was trousers, no skin was basically allowed to be shown, including males. We weren't even allowed to wear shorts.
Again, guys, we've been saying that the people that are being imported into this country are not compatible with Western British culture, okay? In British culture, we have sexual composure, okay? A girl can walk around in shorts and we're not going to do the most. But other cultures, a woman walks around in shorts and it's like they have this vibration, this urgency where it's like, you need to cover up or else I'm going to rape you. That is disgusting and you should be deported. If that's your mindset, where you feel like a woman needs to wear trousers or else I'm going to rape you, I'm going to kill you, you need to be deported.
Things need to change. The way things are going, people don't realise it. They see things on Facebook and they think, oh, it's just people being racist or far right. It's not racist, it's right. It's as simple as that, and that's as far as it goes.
And this was me, right? Because I used to look at these things and say, why are these English people so angry? Why are they just always so hostile towards any community in the country? It wasn't until I started to work in the field that I'm working in now, which is with migrants. Me and many other of my colleagues who are also ethnic minorities, our eyes have been wide open. Our eyes have been wide open to the realities of this mass migration crisis. It is not, let me emphasize this, it is not the picture that they paint it out to be. They are not seeking refuge. They're here for economic benefits. They are not here to integrate. They're here to impose their values. They are not here to contribute. They are here to steal. We're trying to tell you guys this, but you guys are too busy labeling people far right, and you guys don't even want to come to the truth. But when you don't listen, you will learn. And I swear to God, in the next 30 years, this country is going to fall so hard. You guys are going to wish you was on the side of the fight. But it's not too late because we have an event on the 13th, which I encourage everyone to come and be at. That's when you guys will come to the light and you guys will come to the truth to what's happening in this country and what's actually at stake.
As that, and that's as far as it goes, and people need to stand up and actually start back in their own country, because if not, it is going to get taken over, and your kids and your wives, they won't be safe to walk down the road, they won't be safe to walk home from work. So yeah, everyone stand up and actually get a backbone.
When you were working at the Brook Hotel, what did you work as and what was the period that you worked?
So I started on day shift as housekeeping team, and that started at 4 hours a week. Now when I started that was open both as hotels to the general public. After about a year of me working for them, they then took on the contracts, to which I stayed on because I had a baby on the way. So, I needed the money, so I stayed on. Then they took over the contracts, and then I became night porter and head of maintenance, so I was working days and nights. So obviously I got to see absolutely everything that went on.
How much of a shift have you seen between how peaceful the community is?
In the last 2 years, the amount of stuff that has been posted on Facebook about foreign males that are specifically from these hotels is they're following kids, they're following women. Now, 2 years ago, obviously, of course, you're always going to get the odd person, but since these have been here, there has been a hefty increase. We saw police frequently visit the hotels from accusations made, but, so yeah, it's definitely a lot worse.
I heard that right. This is someone who worked at the migrant hotel telling you that since these migrants have been coming into the country, we have been seeing an increase of these migrants following, assaulting, and just essentially acting creepy with these young girls. And this is a man working in the migrant hotels. So when you hear people saying this information like, oh my gosh, these migrants are alien to us, these migrants are not compatible with our, Western culture, we're not lying. It's right in your face. And if you still continue to deny it, then there's something terribly wrong with you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot worse.
I assume you've known both for quite a few years.
Yep.
Do you think was it ever a safe place for children?
Yes, it was. It was a safe place for children until that contract got taken over on the hotel.
That's what I was going to say, is do you think it's a safe place anymore?
No, definitely not. Even walking down, let's say a kid walking down the road with their mum, I wouldn't recommend it. It's just not safe anymore. It's as simple as that. Yeah, 26th of July, 2 p.m, there is going to be hundreds of people here protesting about what's happening and what's gone on. Sorry? Yeah, peacefully. Yeah, we don't want no rubbish, because it will just ruin it for everyone. We're here to make a point, and obviously we don't want that ruined by people that think they're going to come here just for a bit of a party, because that's not what it's about at all.
My last question then is, what do you think the solution is? So some people have said get them out, get them deported, but deported is such a long way from now. So what do you think the steps would be? Some people have also said a best solution is to keep them in the hotels and just don't leave them in the ground.
I think for the minute, and let's be honest, whilst we've got a Labour government, nothing's going to change, because Keir Starmer, he's quite happy for him to come here, he's not bothered. But I think one of the things that needs to happen is all of the hotels, they need some sort of curfew, some sort of restriction, so they're not allowed to travel so far from the hotels, they're not allowed to certain parks and stuff. Obviously, not all of them are going to be that way inclined, but we can't keep taking the risk, because every time something happens, it's just going to create an even bigger problem. So yeah, I think it's definitely a way to go to start, is to sort of segregate them in a way.
So there we go. Everything that the far right has been saying has been proven to be right. Just exposed that these migrants are dealing with drugs. He just exposed that these migrants are, using kitchen knives for God knows what. Just exposed the fact that his own community has had an increase in sexual assaults. So much to the point where he even said that he doesn't recommend women walk around with their children anymore, because it's literally not that safe. But guys, when you don't listen, you will learn. And I'm truly, truly terrified of what this country is going to look like in the next 30 years. Anyways, guys, if you guys want more videos like this, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.